Throughout my entire life, no matter what the hobby was, I always wanted to be the best. Most of my life, however, I never had what it took to truly become the best. Despite more than anything wanting to lift a trophy, become a wealthy businessman, or to achieve enlightenment through meditation, unfortunately I just lacked the most important part in achieving all of them: knowledge. Without it, the decisions that I would make on a day-to-day basis would only leave me further and further away from my dreams. I didn't understand the basics of how the world worked, how the body functions, how the mind can be used, and I was just blindly looking for answers, yet I was searching between hundreds of contradicting opinions that were all pulling me in a different direction. I was just way too confused to succeed at anything. But that didn't last forever. I just kept trying. I just kept learning, I kept evolving, I kept questioning my own beliefs and exploring the world with a really open mind, until just a couple weeks ago, when after multiple years of grinding way before the channel even begun, I had the biggest epiphany I've had to date. This is what I'm talking about when I say my mind was just way too weak. If in 2 weeks' time, I have not been going to the gym 6 days a week, I have not been training 1 hour of deathmatch, 1 hour of TDM, and 1 hour of aim training, then I just have to accept that my goals are way too ambitious and that I just don't simply have what it takes. Shiny object syndrome gone, overthinking gone, stress and chaos gone. Every single day since, I've felt nothing but freedom and a desire to crush my dreams. It was as if I had unlocked the most pure form of fulfillment and excitement to grind harder than ever before in the most healthy and balanced way possible. Last week, you saw the amount of effort that we were able to put in. Most importantly, that we recorded all of it. Every set, every rep, every kilogram, and every single aim training score. This week we get to do it all again, but this time with the excitement of seeing stronger, faster, and even more precise results than the ones that we accumulated last week. It's finally time to see how effective our new training plan is and how much we can progress in just 1 week. From now on, I'm going to make a routine to start off with a quick update on what I call the 4 pillars: my mental, physical, emotional, and financial health. These are the pillars that hold up my dreams of becoming the most mechanically dominant Valorant pro of all time. Now, starting with our mental health, I've learned that I've been burning out a lot up until now. My understanding of burnout was that it's when you physically cannot continue anymore and that you fail at your goals. After a chat with OD26, I came to realize that every time I reach a state of exhaustion and demotivation, that is literally a state of burnout. Some reflection later, I was able to connect the dots between my shiny object syndrome and my lack of respect for limits. I'd quote unquote burn out, not realize it, and then think it was either a diet problem or some other variable. From there, I would make a dramatic change to try and fix it, and in the time that it would take me to change whatever I was going to change, since I was burnt out and not doing anything anyways, it finally gave me time to rest. So once I started that new change, I was full of energy again, and unfortunately, I gave the credit to the change instead of the rest that I took. Diet has obviously seen our energy levels absolutely skyrocket, which has been amazing and made my week so much more productive. My current routine hasn't. This wired my brain to think that change equaled energy and that change meant progression. Of course, resulting in a lack of progression because, as we know, I was constantly changing everything. The plan moving forwards is to set hard limits for the amount of grind that we do in a day. Instead of doing what I usually do, which is grind when I have energy and then rest when I'm burnt out, I'm instead going to stick to the limits that we set, and then any extra passion or energy that I've got to give can go towards friends, family, and obviously the newly found need for recovery. My physical health pillar is currently at an all-time high. Having taken 2 weeks off of ranked Valorant, it's allowed all my time, energy, and willpower to go towards training as hard as I can at the gym, all without the fear of underperforming in comp due to having weaker muscles. I've been able to really push myself harder than ever before, and in doing this, I can already feel my gym sessions having less and less of an impact on my gameplay with each day. Next week, the plan is to make a return to competitive Valorant, hopefully with some fully adapted muscles, a boost in cognition, and more strength and stability in the muscles that I use to click heads. Next up, my emotional intelligence has also seen some massive improvements. This 2-week break has dramatically dropped the stimulation that I'm experiencing in a day, and this has resulted in much more self-awareness and stress management. In times throughout the week where I'm usually super stressed, especially while training, I found that I was immediately able to pull myself away from them. I was able to see the situation for what it was, and I was just able to smile and change the emotions that I was feeling in that moment. I've really want to continue in this direction because at the end of the day, if I'm going to be on a stage with tens of thousands of people in the crowd, I better be able to play some comp in the comfort of my room without freaking out and death gripping my mouse. Now lastly, this week I've really tried to step up the financial pillar. First of all, I've started with some upgrades to the KoFi. I've decided to make the Q&A videos a weekly commitment. The community absolutely loved them, and they instantly fired back with a brand new barrage of questions for me to get stuck into this week. The non-negotiables for me, if you really want to push your limits and become ultra successful in whatever you're trying to do, number one is to try. In addition to that, because I not only want to get more custom game practice in, but because I also really enjoy getting involved with the community, I've made that an official part of the KoFi and added in a channel where I can find fellow OCE players to crunch some custom game drills like pre-aim prac or clutch retake simulations. Since I'm currently looking to increase my income through mechanical coaching, I increased the coaching session length from 30 minutes to 45 while keeping the cost the same. I also implemented a monthly raffle where the KoFi supporters can win a free mechanical coaching session. It's kind of an excuse for me to do more because I just find it really fun helping you guys, but it's another way of giving back to the KoFi supporters and developing my financial pillar. I revamped the KoFi page with a brand new 3-tier system, each tier providing 1, 2, or 3 tickets, and then at the end of the month I'll pick someone and we'll do a session together, just as if you'd bought one. If you're hearing this and you're thinking to yourself, oh yeah, I'd love to support Zasko's journey to IRL Radiant, then yeah, the link to everything I've just mentioned is in the description below. There's no pressure because I'm going to keep making free videos for you guys regardless. This week, we're officially starting the grind with some marinated chicken. Still keeping it clean, but finally stepping up our game a bit. We are getting started very late in the day, and reason being is I had some kind of insomnia attack last night. I got a terrible sleep. In order to not let things get too much worse, we stick to our morning sunlight and we just get straight to the gym. For our gym sessions, the plan is just to simply smash it as hard as humanly possible. We've got our sets and reps from last week, and my goal is just to see how much harder I can go. How much more strength we've got in ourselves now that we're in our second week of this extremely intense training program. In order to reach our physical health goals, the only thing more important than training as hard as humanly possible is getting in the right amount of food. Today we're going to be starting off our day with sourdough, avocado, and tuna, a nice healthy balance of all the needed macros. From there, we want to get some passive learning in, so while I munch on that, I'm watching some gameplay by the professionals and allowing all the small details of how they play to just download into the back of my brain somewhere. One of those small details though, I got very excited about, okay? Let me show you. So one of the players that I watched was Jing, and it was a jet VOD on Lotus. What I noticed is that he jumps before updraft dashing onto a box, something that I thought was quite peculiar. Of course, I did the most reasonable thing and I started to investigate. I started to explore, and I straight away found that I was landing on the box so much quicker that I decided to start timing it and seeing if I was just getting placeboed or if this is something that I can implement into my gameplay. And well, I was pulling out my weapon 230 milliseconds faster than usual. Thanks, Jing. With that, we start warming up and we get straight into our 3-hour mechanic session. Starting off with our 1 hour of deathmatch, my main goal was working on my vision. I wanted to develop my ability to read moving targets. Once done, I take a break, eat some kiwi fruits, and I get stuck into our team deathmatch, and this is where I've really started to explore some new concepts. Why just read one target's movement when I can read every target's movement? I'm about to wide swing, but I'm doing so with the intention of collecting as much information as possible before I stop and shoot. Cool, we've spotted an ISO, Rainer, and a Gecko. Now I'm just coming up with a plan on how I'm going to kill these people. This is now just like the static scenarios you find on Kovacs. Click on target A, click on target B, click on target C. But what I realized is that in an aim trainer, I commit to the plan and I don't ever question whether I killed the target or not. Something that I do in Valorant. By not confirming my kills before I move to the next target, I also remove my reaction time from the equation. Instead of waiting 150 milliseconds for me to register whether I've got the kill or not, I just trust my aim and 30 milliseconds later I'm already moving to the next target. This is exactly how Primi gets his insane multi-frag kills. He's just gotten his aim so good that he doesn't need to confirm whether he got the kill or not, because chances are he did get it. Now after our 1 hour team deathmatch session completely focused on just removing this habit and getting our aim as quick as humanly possible, next up is our 1 hour aim training session. And of course, I'm sure you guys want to know how good our results are. After high scoring every single scenario in our playlist, I whip up the benchmark scenario, smash some more high scores, and we saw a 7.81% increase from the previous week. First things first, Mr. Opus. We've got a 7.81% increase in our stability target switching.
Yo!
Pretty nuts, bro.
Oh, that's huge. What?
Simply excited for what's to come. I get myself fueled up, have a hit of golf, and we get stuck into some drills. After this week's upgrades to the KoFi, I was easily able to find some people to smash out some drills with. I started off with some 1v1 clutch retakes on Ascent, and well, after 14 hours of jet TDM, the utility usage was not awkward for me at all. Having done nothing but mechanics for the last 2 weeks, this was actually the funnest thing I'd done all week. I was actually so happy. Now, one of the coolest things to see was the actual mechanical improvements. I've now had 2 really productive sessions on micro reflex, and in that particular category, my benchmark is almost beyond radiant. Seeing this directly apply into my gameplay without even trying felt amazing, and I don't know, it just makes me want to grind my mechs even harder. But anyways, after some fun 1v1s, we ended up getting more people on, doing some 2v2 retakes on Icebox, just getting used to these new maps because I haven't played them in a while. And yeah, for my first time navigating a map properly in a, retake situation with people trying to kill me and I'm trying to kill them, like, this went amazing. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually fiending for some comp now. Like, this has got me G'd up. Now, one thing that's been bothering me is not having Immortal complete on the intermediate benchmarks. So immediately afterwards, I just snagged some Immortal scores on target.switch and peak track, just to get a couple more down. Now, considering today was a very sleep-deprived day, I take a lot of pride in my 1-hour wind down. I did, though, unfortunately eat before bed because I was just way too hungry and I kind of wanted to get some more protein down. Also, check this out. This is a G-up. I feel bad for the guy, but somebody left a really nice golf club on the golf course. By the time I found it, the sun was setting and the golf course was literally empty, so I have no idea who it belongs to, and I know if I put it out there, people are just going to say it's theirs and take it, because this thing's like 300 bucks. In my opinion, the most moral thing to do is show this golf club the most respect possible and treat it as if I bought it myself. But yeah, I'd be so mad if I did this, so it's also a lesson for me to make sure that I watch where I put my golf clubs. 9 AM and we rise for another day of grind. Within no less than 15 seconds of my eyes opening, I was outside testing out the new golf club. Not for long though, because important business must come first. A blend of creatine, berries, and water. The perfect pre-workout for what's going to be an insane arm day. At the moment, I'm sticking to the exact same plan as last week. We're starting off on the cables and supersetting our biceps and triceps. After absolutely crushing last week's sets and going to maximum failure, we move on to our preacher curls and our overhead extensions in a superset. Smashing the same favorite post-workout meal, and then once again, I get straight back outside to continue working on my chipping. Now, I'm not gonna lie, the Nando's marinade goes extremely hard, so I'm making more. And well, while that marinates, there's no better thing to do than get stuck into our mechanical training. This time, however, we get to see the fruits of what a good sleep can truly do. Remember the whole primmy thing we were talking about earlier? The idea of, clicking on one target and then trusting myself to hit the shot so I could just instantly flick to another? Yeah, well, this is them now. Look, I don't know how this is even possible, but hey, it's happening. And anyways, we're on to our aim training now, and I'm sure you want to see the results. %11.13%. This has got to be some noob gains. Par 4. This is like official. This is the ranked one. This is the ranked golf game. I'm counting. Look, I'm not gonna lie, that was very disappointing. Pitching wedge just to get it back on the green, back onto the fairway, and then we'll go from there. Yeah, like I legit have no idea how I just lost that ball. Like it hit these trees and then disappeared to Narnia or something. -1 point. Toe chunk, as they say. I feel like it's just unrealistic expectations, and this should be at least a past 7 or 8. This is the trusty sanding wedge getting us out of trouble. I swear I'm trying. I'm just gonna putt. That won't be hard to beat tomorrow. We've got enough sunlight for one more hole. And this time we're going to the par 3. I'm gonna just play it from the seniors hole this time. We are on the green. We are on the green.
Wait, that is so puttable. I putt that easy.
The pressure's actually on. They're all watching me. I didn't even get a bogey. Now, so far, every single day has been better than the last, and being the third and final day that I'm going to record in this video, let's just keep that going. I have absolutely loved starting my morning with creatine, berries, some sunlight and a gym session, and I'm just going to keep that going from now on. Today's session is a shoulder day, so I'm smashing the shoulder press, the front raises, the lateral raises, and then lastly, of course, the rear delts, and all of these target every single head of the shoulders possible, so hopefully we get the bolder shoulders, you know what I mean? But hey, no rush. Whenever it's meant to be, it's meant to be, you know? Today's post-workout meal, I decided to step it up a little bit from the tuna and whip out the marinated chicken. Not that it wasn't good for my mental, but I literally have not flavored my chicken in over a year, so you can imagine how intense this is on my taste buds. While that digests, I put a lot of my time towards editing because I was truly on a mission to make this my best upload yet. My break from editing was some putting because, yeah, after that 15-hole par 4, like, I don't know, man, I just gotta fix everything about my golf game, you know? My chipping was also no exception. I needed to equip myself with a new kind of swing. The type of swing that gets you more height, less distance, is like the pendulum motion. Kinda like a big putt, but with a chip. Exactly what I wanted. Exactly. We're learning. Now, as we continue the wholesome and chill energy, we move on to a 1-hour deathmatch session completely focused just on one-tapping enemies.
Next.
Kill. 1 kill remaining. Have a cat.
The reason for the one taps is because I decided to create a new rule that says if I'm out in the open, I have to one tap and counter strafe. I decided that I'd much prefer the mobility over the extra bullet, and I mean, I do 3 hours of mechanics practice a day, like I shouldn't need that second bullet, you know?
5 kills remaining. 3 out of 5. 4 out of 5.
Words cannot explain how much I love chicken, avo, and sourdough. As I move away from our 1-hour deathmatch session and into our 1 hour of team deathmatch, my focus was just solely on tempo. I realized that sometimes the plays I go for are really ambitious, and if I push myself past my limits of the speeds in which I can handle, then, you know, it gets a bit out of control, it gets a bit tense, and I end up being less effective. So tempo was the focus. Once I was all done with that, I take another break, I get outside, I hit some golf balls, I spend some time upgrading my spreadsheet, and then I get stuck into our aim training. Now, of course, an 11% increase in 1 week is pretty unbeatable, so we can't really expect, just kidding, I said that fully knowing that I had a 20% increase on all of my tracking scores, so hey, I don't know what to say. Newbie gains. But I mean, besides this cool lighter I bought for $4 and a glass of milk before bed, I don't have any more footage to voice over, guys, so I guess that means the video ends here. But yeah, things are good, life is good, everything's good, and it all came from just telling myself, if you don't do what you need to do, I'm gonna delete the channel. It was literally as simple as that. The idea that you just need consequences for your actions sometimes, and that way you just stay on track, and yeah, now I've got that. Although the 2 weeks are over, so I'm going to replace the deleting of the channel, because that's obviously gone. I'm going to replace that with like 4 hours of sensory deprivation. Same rules apply. If I fail to stick to my routine, I'll do 4 hours in pitch black, like can't hear anything, can't see anything, can't smell anything, whatever. Sensory deprivation. Hopefully that just keeps me grinding and not slipping up. Peace out, everybody. I love you all, and best of luck on your grind. Make sure you go get doing things.